Hi, hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dillion. If this is your first time, and I talk about tech and career, and this is the third video in my relocation playlist. So I created this playlist where I am sharing the process of how I relocated from Nigeria to Netherlands. I have the first video, which is an introduction. I have the second video, which shows how I got the job, and this is like the third video in the series where I talk about visa and getting my visa for leaving the country. So stay tuned. I have a lot to share here, and let's jump right into it. There are different visas that you could use to come to the Netherlands, and I don't know like how many of them there are, but the particular one that I had to use is called an MVV. And an MVV is like a long stay visa, and in my case it's like a temporary visa to come to the Netherlands while I work out my residence permit. Now, to apply for this MVV, you can go about it in two ways. You can either apply by yourself, or your host can help you apply. And in my case, my host, which is my company or my employer, they were the ones who helped me apply for the visa. And to apply for the visa, basically what they have to do is, I know there's like a lot of formal, official processes involved, but basically they send like probably a couple of emails to the immigration service known as the IND, and they're basically saying, okay, we have this employee from Nigeria and we want them to come work with us here in Netherlands. And for them to send this email or a couple of emails to the IND, my company needed two documents from me. First, they needed like a copy of a valid residence permit in a Schengen country, and I haven't been to any Schengen countries before, so I didn't have like a permit for that. So of course it's optional. If you have, then you have to bring it, and if you don't have to. And the second thing they wanted me to do was to fill this antecedent form, which my company shared with me, and it's just like, adding a lot of details. It's more the form, from the details of the form, it's more like for security purposes, asking me where I came from. I don't know if I had committed any crime before or things like that. One more thing, before sending my request to the IND, I was also asked to specify the location I would love to get the visa physically, and I was presented with 3 Dutch representatives. I think they are all in Africa. The first one is Accra, Ghana, and the second option is Cotonou in Benin Republic, and the third option is Mali, Bamako. I don't know where that is located. So I was presented with these 3 options, and I'll basically make a choice, and once the IND is done, I'll be able to get my MVV at that location. So I chose Accra, Ghana. After submitting these details to my company, of course with like a copy of my passport, the profile details page of my international passport, they sent the request to the IND. Now usually the IND responds in like 2 to 4 weeks. I think before coming here I watched some videos where some people got their responses in 2 weeks. For some people it was 3 weeks, but for me I had to wait for like 4 weeks before I finally got a response. And of course the response can either be positive or negative for whatever reasons, but fortunately for me, it was positive. So while waiting for a response from the IND, I was just basically getting my things together at my previous location, selling my stuff, just making final arrangements. Now there was one thing that I would have done while I was waiting, but I didn't have an idea until later on, and I won't call it a mistake because everything still played out well for me, but I'll just share it in like few seconds. So when I finally got a response from the IND that I could come, the next thing I had to do was to make an appointment with the embassy or the Dutch representative in Accra, Ghana. I don't know, I often hear that there are like embassies in Nigeria, and I don't really know of any embassy in Nigeria, but I think the only one that they recognize, probably for MVV purposes, is the one in Ghana and the other 2 locations I mentioned. So as at October, when I got a response from the IND trying to book an appointment, I would leave the appointment link in the description if you're interested. So after getting the response, I tried booking an appointment with Ghana, and as at October the next available date was 1st of December. and this was like something I wish I had known before then. And I'm also sharing this too, if like somebody who, you have gotten this relocation job and you quickly want to leave, then instead of having to wait for a response from the IND before booking your appointment, you can book it before you get the response. And if your response is probably unfortunately negative, you can just cancel your appointment, or you can reschedule your appointment if the response comes like a bit later than you have planned. So as at then, the next available date was 1st of December, and I didn't have a choice, so I had to opt in for that. And I was just getting rid of my stuff, and I booked my flight for 29th of November because I was like scared of unexpected situations and maybe delays. So I booked my flight for 29th of November. You can check out this video above where I share my experience going to Ghana, my first international trip, and booking hotel, and some of my struggles, frustrations, and the beautiful moments. So I explained all of that there. Another thing I want to say, which is very important, is when you are planning to come, you need to plan very well. And what do I mean by planning very well? When you go on the website of the whole IND visa and stuff, you'd see that the average number of days that the whole visa thing takes is 10 working days, which is like 2 weeks. And for them to process your visa, they would have to collect your international passport from you. So if you're somebody who is coming from Nigeria or a different country to Ghana, you would have to plan on how you want to go about staying for that duration. I think I have a friend who he got there, did the whole biometrics thing, and went back to Nigeria. Then he shipped his passports, or I don't know how it actually went, but he shipped his passport from Nigeria to the people in Ghana so that they could use it, because of course you need your passport for international travels. So when he got it there, they got his whole MVV ready, and then they sent it back to Nigeria. Of course, he had to make the delivery process. He had to actually provide the delivery process. They are not the ones who handle the delivery, he is the one. So you can actually go that route, or if you live in Ghana, that's even very good for you. But for someone like me, since they said 10 days, I actually estimated like 8 to 9 days. I mean, from going 29th, I planned that by 9th of December I should be done with everything and I can come back. So my plan was, okay, I go there 29th, give them my passport on the 1st, and probably by the 7th or 8th they should be ready. And actually, when I booked my flight, I made the return date, it was like a return ticket, and I made the return date flexible so that for any reasons it's more, I could just pay an extra charge, and I can change the date and come back to Nigeria. So you have to put that in mind, so you don't go there and you're stuck. And if you're somebody who wants to explore another country, it's an opportunity for you. If you're somebody who has some things to do in Nigeria, then you have to just look for something. But what you should know is, if you are going through this delivery process like my friend did, it will take a longer time. Your documents may be ready, and you probably have to start looking for how to go about the whole delivery, which could probably take you another week. So you have to just put that in mind. The approval letter from the IND comes with a lot of requirements, since you are requested to bring to collect basically you're coming to Ghana to apply for the visa, of which the IND is already aware of. And then when you apply, you're like, okay, this is the same person, and then they process the visa for you. So there were like a lot of requirements of documents and files that I was requested to bring. I was requested to bring my international passport, which has 2 empty pages and it must be valid for another 2 months. I was also requested to bring a copy of my IND's approval letter, which contains something they call your alien registration number, a V number. I was also asked to bring a completed and signed MVV issue form. I'll add a link to that in the description of this video. And I was also asked to bring a recent unused passport photo, which has to meet some Dutch photo requirements. I'll share the link to that too. It's just like the requirements where the colors, the things you should wear, if you are wearing glasses, how to position them, your face must be visible, all those kind of things you can find in the link page. And also, if I live in a country of which I am not a national, I was requested to bring a residence permit and a photocopy of it. But then I live in Nigeria and I'm a national, I'm a citizen there, so I didn't have to bring that one. On getting to the embassy there on the 1st of December, I was approached by a security man who, of course, checked my name in the appointment list. Of course, if you don't make an appointment, you cannot go there. So he had to confirm my name, and then he checked my documents, and he said I was missing some things. There were some things I was supposed to print out, which can be very relevant. So he asked me to print a colored copy. Initially, I had printed black and white of my IND approval letter. He said I should print a colored copy. He said I should also make a photocopy of my passport cover, the details page, and the used pages for my trip to Ghana, because you are required to, I should have said this earlier, you are required, or in my case I was required to move by air. So if I moved by land, they wouldn't attend to me. So I had to photocopy those used pages to show them that yes, this was a flight trip. Then I also had to print a colored copy of my NVV form, and then a colored copy of my employment contract. So this was something that I had not printed earlier. Altogether, I was to bring a colored copy of my IND letter, a colored copy of my passport cover, details page and used pages, a colored copy of my NVV form, a recently unused passport photo which I took few days before my move to Ghana, and my international passports. I had to bring that along, and then a colored employment contract. So on getting into the office, I met this woman and I presented my documents. She saw my passport and she was like, this does not meet the requirement. I think my passport had a bit of too much light. I don't really know myself, but she said it didn't meet the requirements. But I didn't have to worry so much. There's a passport office just outside. And the beautiful thing about this office is they know what the requirements are. I believe many people have always brought in, wrong passports. So that was a business idea, I believe. So the person knows the requirement, and the person is able to give you a passport with the exact requirement. So I went outside, had to pay for another passport. So I gave her all of my documents, the colored ones that I had to go and print again, and she accepted it. And I think that was on a Wednesday. 1st of December was on a Wednesday, and she told me that by the following Monday, which should be that's on the 6th. So she said on the 6th I could come check. It should be ready by then. She actually told me it's something that usually take a week or two, but I could just check in on Monday. So I waited till the following Monday. I came back to check and it wasn't ready, and then she just told me confidently and definitely it will be ready by tomorrow. So I had to go back to my hotel, and the next day, which is on the 7th, yes, I came and I saw my MVV sticker. So it's a sticker which they plaster on an empty page of your passport. And I went outside and the woman told me to confirm that my details were correct. There was this extra sheet which had a lot of things to confirm, your name, the expiry date of the visa, the all details like that. So I went outside, confirmed that everything was correct, and then I came back inside and told her that everything was correct. Then that was it for my visa. So the next thing I did was I informed my company that I have gotten my visa, and then we planned a date for my coming. And right before, I still had 2 days in Ghana, so I just used that time to explore other places around in Ghana and then book my flight for moving from Nigeria to the Netherlands. So that was basically it for my visa. I don't think I'm missing out any important information. I have been taking notes of all these things, and If I miss out anything at all, or if you have specific questions, you can leave it in the comments and I would address them, or if I remember anything new, I will add them. So watch out for my next video where I talk about the things I had to do before leaving Nigeria. When I talk about things like accommodation, how much I had to pay on flights, how I went about PCR, COVID test, and things like that. So watch out for my next video where I share all of that. Thanks for watching, and if you find this helpful or you know somebody this will be helpful for, kindly share. Kindly like this video. You have gotten to the end already, so what's giving a like, and kindly subscribe, and see you in my next video.